This is an informational and training message to the pastors and churches of Menlo Lake Baptist Association. You're all aware by now of the laws that have been enacted by the state of California regarding sexual harassment training and AB 506 youth services workers. The sexual harassment training is a little bit confusing for churches because all of our churches are small churches, less than 5 employees. And that's a number mentioned in the sexual harassment training in California, 5 employees or more. So why should we have to do that? Here's why. Because there's a very strong link to AB 506, which has a lot of very strong teeth in it, including criminal consequences about any organization, think church, that works with youth services. So VBS, Sunday school training, all of those kinds of things. The pastor and anybody else involved in that, all of those people have to be trained in a small church in AB 506. Now, to that end, it's pretty intense training. And the easiest way through that is I'm going to hold a workshop. Worked with Joe Fry to develop some dates. We'll have more about that later. A half-day workshop at Crossroads Church in Ukiah. And that will walk you through step by step the things that you need to do to meet the requirements of AB 506. Back to the sexual harassment training. The reason why we should do this, even though we're excluded because none of our churches have 5 employees, is because there's a very strong insurance tie related to AB 506 and directors and officers insurance. So let's say you have an instance of sexual harassment and it involves youth services. If you haven't had sexual harassment training, there could be a criminal component involved in that linked to AB 506 that worries their insurance companies. So if you have not had sexual harassment training, they're going to look askance at your directors and officers insurance. Now, you can be guided by your conscience in this one, sexual harassment training. You can't be guided by your conscience in AB 506 training. So dealing now just with sexual harassment, I want to walk you through how easy it is to qualify the church, at least one leader, the pastor, to meet the sexual harassment training. So let's start with that. Beginning with that is this document. Now, the document has a link there that you can paste into your browser. Once you paste it into your browser and click on it, it'll bring up the document. At that point in time, you'll see this header on the document. When that header shows up, just scroll through it to the bottom of page 5. And when you get to the bottom of page 5, you'll see this button to take the training. So still in the document, when you click on this button and open it, it'll take you to a website. And that website is the California website, California State Office website for sexual harassment prevention training. It'll open up at that page. Scroll down a little bit further, and you'll come to this section in which all you have to do is click the continue button. Now, once you've clicked the continue button, it will take you to this following page where you select your language. For most of us, that's going to be English. We do have 4 Hispanic churches, so for them, it would be the Hispanic track, in all probability. Once that selection is made, that will immediately take you to this following screen. And in the following screen, it would be best if anybody, the pastor and any leaders in any of the youth services area would choose the supervisory button. Once you do that, whether it's that or the non-supervisory button, it'll take you to a link where you actually start the class. And when you click on that link, it takes about 2 hours to work through that class. I've done it already. And you can't go back and start over again. So you need to dedicate time, turn off your phone, be online, be where somebody can't get at you, and sit there for 2 hours and walk through the various training modules. It's pretty easy. They make it so that it's very easy to walk through and qualify. And once you have done that, the final step is you'll get a certificate. And when you get the certificate, you should store it both digitally and in a hard copy somewhere. Keep a copy at the church, keep a copy at your house. And that training should be done every 2 years. So that's the easiest way to approach this. Just go online to this class, dedicate 2 hours to taking it. And once that's done, you'll be certified, you'll be protected better in relationship to AB 506. And it's just the right thing to do. We live in a time when sexual harassment is something we should all look at. The ways we used to think, talk, make jokes, whatever. If you've gotten to the point now where you wonder if something you say could be construed as sexual harassment, it probably could be. So let's all be careful. Thanks. Take a look at it. Bye-bye.